So I'll give you a quick dose of truth real quick. I don't know if you know this or not, but a lot of black people, I can't speak for everybody, that would be a generalization, but there's just a general understanding about who Kamala Harris actually is. She's not liked. You got to understand what that means. It means that she would be the first one out of the Democratic national debate for that convention and trying to pick their presidential candidate. Why was she the first one out? Well, because she wasn't a likable candidate, but also she was a person that didn't connect. Now, the reason why she didn't connect wasn't about her ethnicity. It's just that she's just not a genuine person. And I don't want to be like attacking her, her personhood and stuff, but that's just what has happened and who she was. Even as a prosecutor, she just wasn't legit, and she was there for political purposes, just so she can climb the ladder. And all that to say is just who she was here in California, who she's been as a senator, the things she was signing on to. This debate should be actually pretty interesting. And then, obviously I'm rooting for Mike Pence, and I'm praying for him. But the truth about who she's been is a hindrance to her. And it's a hindrance to, and even her record, her voting record, what she's done in the Senate, even as a junior senator, just wasn't good. But I need you to get past something, okay? Everybody wants to talk about the firsts. First black president, first, woman vice president, first black this, first gay this, first Mexican this. What we're finding out is people really don't care about firsts. They really don't. In fact, what people really care about is, are you able to govern? Hold the position with responsibility and do what you're supposed to do according to your job description? Or do you have ulterior motives? See, like here in San Diego, I remember there was a candidate for the DA position. Thank God Summer Stephan won. But this one black lady, she was trying to get the position, but she was an activist. She would have been an activist DA. So her whole purpose was to rearrange and to change up the justice system for the social justice cause. So she wasn't there for justice. She wasn't there to uphold the law. She was up there to change public perception about the law and what was lawful and what wasn't lawful, including like prostitution, drug use and all that, drug abuse and drug selling and all that. There are people out there who do that, who are about that. And what these people do is they bring in these pretty radical ideas into these positions of a really high authority, and they misuse, mismanage, and then run over the people that they're supposed to be their constituents. They end up abusing their power. See, that's what, just to be real, that's actually what Kamala Harris did. She abused her power. And people knew that. They were from the Bay Area, who were from California, but they also saw it during the Kavanaugh hearings. They saw what type of person she actually was. And I want to tell you that the reason why she didn't really make it very well in that whole panel of all those Democrats is probably because of that. She wasn't a likable person. Now, she was supposed to be the second coming of Obama, but you have to understand, people didn't like Obama's policies. They thought that he was a real eloquent, nice person to talk to and stuff. Which he probably is, I wouldn't trust that dude freaking with a hamster, man. He was, he's crooked. But let's just be real, okay? Just because you look a certain way doesn't mean that you're going to be able to govern. You need to show by your record, are you able to govern? Are you actually able to do what needs to be done? And she just hasn't. And I think Mike Pence, he showed that by being a successful governor, but also too by being a successful vice president when he needed to be there. He wasn't just a stand-in. Now that was what kind of Biden proved to be when he was with Obama. He was just a stand-in to try to make up for what Obama was losing votes and losing his popularity. They'd send Biden in to kind of help him out. But there's so much coming out about Biden as well and Hunter. This whole thing, you have to understand, y'all, that this is getting pretty deep. And unfortunately, it's going to drag a lot of people down. And there will be folks who have been so ignorant of these issues, they're not going to understand what's going on. You got to kind of get away from like the media that you watch right now, especially if it begins with AB or NB or CB, CBS, maybe even CNN. These networks aren't telling you what's going on. Even some of the commentators on Fox News aren't telling you what's going on as well. There's a lot happening right now in this nation, and unfortunately, only some of us are really knowing what's really happening. And you just need to understand that that as these things are happening, these people that are being potentially put in these positions of power, they could have a massive hold on you. You need to understand, like, okay, I'm gonna put it into context. When you have the governor of California advocating for you to put a mask on in between bites when you're eating a meal in a restaurant, you understand what it means to be the subject of someone. Okay, you're now a serf, okay? You're a freaking serf by this man's desire to wield his power in a way that he feels is necessary for the state. They could look at Governor Cuomo, who will persecute the Jewish church. You don't understand, that's actually what he's saying. I'm going to persecute the Jews. Does that sound familiar to anybody at all? I mean, seriously, all you people that have got your miseducation in the public school system, yeah, that should sound familiar to you. It should sound real familiar to you, because that's what they do. This is what these people who are authoritarians, they don't care about the people that they lead. They care about their power and about you obeying their power, despite how nonsensical their ideas and their methods and their desires for power actually are. You need to understand these things. Because if you don't, then you'll just think that this is, again, like I told you before in the video earlier today, did you think this is about blue against red? This isn't. This is ideology. The ideology of these people is what we're up against. And this is not democracy. We are in a constitutional republic, and we our democracy here, where we actually practice this by our votes. They're trying to overturn even your ability to vote by inundating the system with a bunch of votes that it shouldn't be cast. And you need to understand too how even the census fraud is actually going to end up happening. Okay, this is all of it is about this election, because they have to win, scorched earth, destroy everything, or give us what we want. You got to understand this is what we are up against. So tonight when you're watching this debate, just know that you're going to have an ideology up there that's going to be one of freedom and one of subjugation. That's going to hide behind very different words that try to mask the truth of who this person actually is. And I believe that that's going to be Kamala Harris. She'll not hide what she actually believes. Even Joe Biden can't even tell you what he wants to do with the Supreme Court, with DC, with Puerto Rico. And did y'all hear even Puerto Rico's governor wants to endorse Trump, and BET's founders doing the same exact thing? You got to know what's happening, man. Because if you don't, you'll be like one of those people on the couch just wondering what's going on. Like, whoa, what's happening? But in reality, these people on TV, they had an evil desire, and that's just for power, quest for power, the thirst for power. The last people who should have power like that are the folks who have some really strange ideas about what they can do with their power and making people do what they want. It's the last people who should be leading. Seriously. So you be a person on the couch tonight, you might look in horror at some of the things that are said, and the way that, that the things may go down. But you gotta understand, there's an ideology here, there's a war in it, there's a whole war in it. And you and I, as the American people, we're in the middle of it. And unfortunately, there's some people out there that can give a rip about you, give a rip about your family, give a rip about your desires and your hopes and your dreams. They want you to be subject to them. That's all they want. Take care.